Shalom, sweet people. I am Maker Strong. My Maker makes me strong. And I am here to talk to you guys about something real quick, cooking and food when you go to another country. So I am the type of person, I wing it when I cook most things. I just made pancakes, and I actually made a whole video of me making pancakes, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is. It just disappeared from my computer. I'll probably find it later, and I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, so the thing is, I made my pancakes in a kind of a do-it-yourself kind of way. I didn't read the recipe, and most things that I cook, I mean, I got some hit or misses, but most of the things that I cook turn out pretty well. I've been cooking for years, so I'm sorry, guys. That light is just on me. Makes me. Oh, that's bright. Um, so most of the things that I cook, I'm pretty happy with the quality. I'm happy with the taste. I'm not the best cook ever, but I cook pretty well. And so I don't really follow recipes. And even if I look at a recipe, what I usually do is kind of get a general idea of what goes in the thing because I have, and I know that this sounds silly, but when I've tried to use recipes before and follow the steps, it always turns out wrong. But when I don't read the recipe, but I know like generally what I need to do, it turns out okay. So anyway, that's how I've learned to live with, the way that I cook. But then it occurred to me that there are those people out there who the only way that they can cook is by following recipes, and they do it, and they do a really good job whenever they follow a recipe. And so I was like, well, what do I do? How do I approach that situation and try and explain you have to eat wherever you go, you're going to have to eat. And if there's a language barrier, you might have a real problem because the ingredients on certain prepackaged things or like um, certain items that you want to put in food may have descriptions and you don't know like all of the different things, like maybe certain ingredients you want to avoid, but it's all in another language. So how do you know? And so I thought about that, and I wanted to put this video together. So just a few things that I would say you might want to do is get those particular things that you want to avoid. Go to Google and get a list of those particular words and carry them to the grocery store with you so that if you're trying to avoid mono, polyon, whatever, you will know what that looks like in that language. Now, is that a kill all? No, because I'm pretty sure that just like in the DS, when they don't say sugar, but they say modified cane syrup, which is sugar, like when I'm sure they do that in other languages too, you know. And if they don't, great. But I mean, I'm just gonna say they probably do. So it's not a 100% plan, but at least you will be equipped with. You'll have that list of words that you don't want in your flour, or you don't want certain things in your corn or whatever, like whatever you're buying um, that's maybe prepackaged. Um, you don't want to see this item in it. So you know what that word looks like if it's in symbols or letters or whatever. So there's that. And then also, um, it would probably benefit you to have your favorite recipes, um, put them in Google Translate it to those, the language you want. And then when you see those words repeated, that's another way that you can kind of get used to knowing what eggs looks like in that other language. And I keep saying, like, I don't want to say the word because some languages are not like where you see a written word. Sometimes it's certain combination of symbols. And if that's the case, if you hear the word, that's fine. But if you see it written down, you wouldn't know, right? So what I'm saying is have the written form so you know, oh, this is eggs, this is milk, this is flour, whatever. I keep going back to that because I just made pancakes and they're hot and I want to eat my pancakes. It's Sunday. I don't know why I have a Sunday pancake thing that it's not like I grew up eating pancakes every Sunday, but whenever we did have pancakes, it was usually on Sunday. And I just like having pancakes on Sundays. Um, but anyway, the other thing that I was going to bring up, if you have like the list of things you don't want and then all the list of things that you're looking for, another idea is to try to check out like the place. Where are your where are the stores that will carry those upscale type I don't want to say upscale, how do I say? Okay, so a lot of stores in like countries where the dollar is really valuable, like really, really high against the currency of that place, a lot of your food choices are going to be really low quality, and you have to go to special stores to find the higher quality thing. Now, this is the same in the DS. Like if you look in the lower, like the lower income neighborhoods in cities, you will notice that you have those like Food Town and Foodorama, and most of that is just like a grocery store full of junk. They do have vegetables, but usually the vegetables are substandard, and like most of the stuff in those stores are very low quality. You're not going to find too many organic or like gluten-free products in those stores. So what I would say is that you have to try to get with the like find out before you make your move, find out the nearest locations of the places that carry those quality products that you want to buy. Now, in my case, HEB is a big Texas store, like it's Texas. But HEB also has stores in other places. And I'm specifically saying like in other places in North America. So you will be able to get certain things that HEB carries because HEB has its own organic like they have their own organic department or whatever, and you'll find the HEB brand in organics. And then also like certain Walmart is everywhere too, but although you can find certain products like organic in certain Walmarts, you're not going to always find them if you go to a Walmart that carries groceries. It depends on where it is. Like that they're not going to bring that into that place because they don't think that that item will move off the shelves. So um, so. Let me just go back over all the things I just said. So have a list of words. Number one, have a list of the words that of the things you really want to avoid, so that when you are going to the grocery store and you are looking at those items that you like to buy, that some commonly do have those other products in it. Like read and make sure that they don't have those things in there. And then number two, you want to have a list of the things that are in your favorite recipes, and take that list along with you as well, so that you will be able to compare and say, okay, it has this, it has that, whatever. Sorry about that. And then the last thing is to just make sure that you know where the grocery stores are or the places are that carry the types of high quality products. If you want higher quality products than just prepackaged everything, because I do eat some things that are prepackaged, but for the most part, I like fresh fruit, vegetables, and I limit my canned good. I mean, I have canned goods, but I haven't opened a can in a while around here. I'm using the canned goods as like emergency food supply, not for like everyday consumption. So, but that's just me. But I'm just saying, like, if you're one of those people that you're really going to be looking around to say, I need to buy organic or gluten free product, where will I find that? You definitely want to find out if that's available to you um, in the country. Now, here's the other thing. The good part about certain places you go, you won't find those heavy chemicals um, in the food, because in a lot of countries, spraying Roundup and stuff like that on the farm produce is illegal. So you're not going to find those things, certain things in the food, unless the product is a product of, a country where it is highly polluted and all of that stuff. So just do your research. That's my thing. I'm a research person. I think probably I said that a million times, but I've said it on vlogs that I might not have even uploaded. I don't know, but I do depend heavily on research, and I would suggest that everybody does that, because walking into a situation haphazardly is not going to do anything but frustrate you, and it's going to make you probably miss the things you're leaving behind even more, because even though it's not that big a deal, it could be that one thing that's like, well, they don't even have a gluten-free bread here, let's go back, like, and they might have it, or there might be a way for you to make it with products that work. But anyway, I'm just saying that in some countries you don't even have to worry about that, because they don't allow that to go into their food to begin with. And that's talking about the things you don't want in your foods. So some things might be organic, but they're just not saying it's organic because they don't have to say it, because they don't. That's illegal. That might be something you need to research. Do they, what are the standards of food quality in the places where you go? Last thing is farmers markets. You do need to be a little bit careful about farmers markets, because sometimes they're making themselves seem like it's coming straight from the farm to you, when some of that stuff they got from like whole like grocery supplies and whatever, and they're selling it as if it's fresh or whatever. But you can kind of tell food that came from the farm, because usually there's like a little bit of bruising or something like that. It will look fresh. It'll look like they just picked it, and that also means it's not going to be perfect. So you'll see that, and then also, I know this is kind of gross, but if it came from the farm or whatever, you're usually going to see a worm or some kind of bug around it. Although that's nasty, um, bugs are not going to eat anything bad. Bugs eat things that their little digestive, you know, systems can handle. So if they're eating it and they're eating and enjoying it, then I mean, don't eat the one the bug ate. But you know that that batch is probably good, because the bugs like it. I mean, when you bring it home, clean that thing. But that's usually a good indication if the bugs are in there, like, oh, that I enjoyed this apple, and so like you will too. Anyway, that's just my quick tips about that. I hope that maybe before your move, if you're not really that If you're not really that strong of a cook, that you develop that skill, because you're not going to be able to eat out, even though it's cheap to eat. Um, First of all, it's not healthy to do that, and you don't necessarily want to eat where the food standards are kind of lower. I'll go into that maybe at a later time, but you just don't want to do eating out all the time, even if it's cheap. You just don't want to do that to yourself. So research and get into the habit of trying to kind of like know certain meals that you can make that you feel comfortable making, even if you can't read a recipe. And then, like I said, all the other tips that I gave you about that. Anyway, shalom, everybody. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.